But Honorable Commissioner, some negotiations are saying that this drive by the government of Lagos State to make sure that and you're right to talk about the flooding that took place in Mende, where 9 lives in 2022 September, 9 lives were spared when the building collapsed because of flooding. But some are saying, can this drive by the Lagos State government, while commendable, can a human face be added to it, whereby some sort of consideration is given to people who have invested their life savings in putting up buildings?
Now, thank you very much, Kofi. Now, let me tell you the human face. We've had engagements. We've spoken about this. The width of System 1 originally was 300 meters. But the governor was so magnanimous, and the EXCO, and they said we should reduce it. And we reduced it to 140 before I came in. When I came in, when I saw the width, I said, let me go back and make a representation to EXCO and Mr. Governor. And Mr. Governor reduced it to 100. And the EXCO approved it. That we should make it just 100. That with 100, we should now split the 100 between Ogudu, where the government does have a scheme, Ogudu Valley scheme or something, and then the Mende side of it.
Okay.
That actually saved over 80% of the houses.
Okay.
Now, we do expect to this man and this developer that is shouting, Dikindirojaye, the first time they came to mark, 80% of the Mende villa was captured. They were sitting right in the middle. So we went back and said, look, let us review this. Let us put a human face. And in so doing, we saved several properties from even the Sholui end before we got to Mende, and Rojobe end before we got to Mende. And in Mende is Villa, this Villa estate.
Okay. The
ones that are directly sitting on the canal on the right of way of Odoyalaru were the ones that were eventually removed. And if you tell me with due respect that notices from 2021, the last one was served in December 2023. They came to reserve and mark again last month, and this same person has been engaging and begging and lobbying, trying to undermine the system. Let us call it the state. If you don't punish bad behavior and let there be consequences, then we are going to develop. Development comes by deliberate planning, not by accident.
How about those who say that the structures and buildings were approved by the Lagos State government agencies?
Thank you very much. You see, that there are two legs of the narrative. I will be very honest with you. I will not mince words. Do we have good people in the civil service? I'll tell you, very good ones. Some of the best in the country, and you say Lagos Civil Service. You still have some very few bad eggs. Yes. But it takes two to tango. It doesn't make it right. If you, as a developer or a man that wants to build, chooses to go and game a system, you must be able to bear the consequences of your bad behavior. If I were them, and I repeat, if I were them, I will go ahead and report the man that processed my approval. That whatever happened. So let the system now take care of that person. But as a political appointee, it's not within my orbit to do that. The civil service has a very strict process to discipline early members. But I can speak for those in the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. They are the champions of whatever we're doing today as reforms. I'm just a captain of the ship.
Legally speaking, if a developer is paying ground rent, for instance, is paying land use, is paid for development levy, has duly registered, the planning and all that, and everything that needs to be done, isn't the government liable to pay damages?
Kofi, let me answer you in a very strict legal terms. Illegality can never beget legality. You cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. The foundation itself is non-existent. It's void. So, however, when you try to mend it, once that foundation is void.
All right.
How the Bible says? The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? It's the same way of saying it.
All right.
Because you can't place something on what is non-existent.
Okay.
So let us go back to the root of it. The root of it is not sustainable.
So for all these years, what has the government been doing when these people were constructing illegally or obstructing the road? You see, government has this nonchalant attitude. You see people just constructing, going to places that they have not been given, and then they will start constructing things on the road or houses. And government will just close its eyes and then one day wake up in the morning and start demolishing it. Right from day one, if you see people going to where they are not prohibited places, why don't the government stop them immediately?
I'm not the official spokesman for the government, but I can say this to you. I'm not going to make excuses. Yes, there are times government drops the ball, but like I tell everybody, must we wait for the government to do the right thing? We are the government. Kofi, you and I, we are the government. It's about let us take ownership. If we take ownership, we know what is right, we know what is wrong. We don't have to wait for the government to come and sanction you to do what is right. And that's why I talk about people are just brazen in their attitude. We choose to be badly behaved. And when the will of justice comes, we start throwing the emotions into it. She's very right. Like I said, people were sad notices, don't do this construction. They choose to go and game the system and using my words advisedly. But today, there's been a review, and we are coming to say, you can't build here. In the first place, you are not even meant to build here. If you are going ahead to let people look the other way, the day of reckoning is now. There's always a day of reckoning.
Now, saying that we are government, and I beg to disagree with you on one point, because human beings are bound to do anyhow. That is why you have government who is there to checkmate them to do the right thing. So if you're saying, let's call a spade, in fact, your own spade might not even be a spade for me, because these government officials, have we caught them, have been able to see to arrest them, whoever the developer or whoever who collected and who gave, you arrest them so that everything is seen in open.
All right. So you have two questions. Yeah,
we have sanity.
All right.
Let me answer. Lagos does have the most sophisticated EGIS platform in the whole of the country. You can go and find out where you can build. You can get your land information on our EGIS platform. It's the most sophisticated in the country. It's automated. You don't have to face any individual to get this done in Lagos State. Now, why do we have that platform? It's to allow people know where you can build, know the agencies you can interface with, know the approvals you can obtain or you ought to obtain. However, if you are not satisfied with what the EGIS throws up, you can come to the secretariat. Oh, I have a land I've just bought. I want to run a search. Once you run your search and the title is clean, you now go to fiscal planning. I want to build. What are the areas, what are the dimensions and the setbacks in this area? Fiscal planning will now refer you again after giving you the checklist to environment. This area, you must have a drainage clearance. Lagos is not a jungle. Lagos is governed by law. It's so unfortunate that we have to get to this point. But we can't shy away from the truth. Whatever is bad. People want money from you. They will go any length to take your added money. They forget to tell you the truth that, however, there is a caveat. I can't build here. Some of them will have approvals to build estates. The approval will cover 10 houses. They'll go and build 30. Those 30 will not be covered by the approval. So there will be flying approvals. Some will call it, they will fly approvals. You have approval to do 10. You now extend to go and do 30. Which will happen to the Mende villa man? He had a temporary approval, yes. But did he work within the remit of the approval? No. Because they never knew the day of reckoning was going to come. And they had notices. He's been engaging government. And we said, no. The rains are coming. The tides are high. Because that's what I've been mobilized for the past 2 years. Now we have to go ahead and even review for the contractor. Because it's not his fault, because of material. From the taxpayers' money.
Wow. All right. So how does one overcome this flying? You're saying getting the number is not enough. What else does one need to get?
Now you have to speak to experts.
Mm-hmm.
Experts in real estate development, experts real estate agents, not quacks with due respect. They are certified real estate agents. They will run the checks for you. You now have to have an attorney that will do a search for you. When it comes to building, go to the experts too. Don't cut corners. It may cost you extra, but you are buying comfort and rest of mind.
Is there any chance, Commissioner, that compensation should be paid to those affected at whatever level of this, exercise?
Compensation based on what, Kofi? You can only be paid compensation if you have a valid title, and then we are taking up this for providing public interest. But when you have done an infraction against the law, you should even be paying government compensation for deploying taxpayers' money to remove that nuisance you've created on the part of the canal or secondary collector.
All right.
A good client, we should be taking them to court.
All right.